Welcome to Fresh Off the Set. I'm Kari Hawker-Diaz.
And I'm Brooke Mangum. Thank you so much for joining us yet again for another episode of Fresh Off the Set. And today we're talking about an amazing woman that we actually both know. And she built an empire. Built upon hair.
An absolute empire. I love that. Built upon hair. A hair pyre. Can we call it that? I think we just did. Absolutely. So Lacy, yes, we both know her. She is a fantastic human being. She has such a good story because she actually started with some health issues that she talks about and the reason why she wanted to even start helping other women with hair. But if we just start talking about hair extensions, we could talk forever about those, right?
Laced is her company.
Hair is so good. Her laced hair extensions are amazing.
I had them for years and like the quality is there. But what's so special about Lacy is she's not just doing hair extensions, which is, that's awesome within its own thing, but she is truly giving back and trying to help women who have lost their hair for a multitude of different reasons and really giving them their identity back. Because I hate to say it, and it sounds superficial, but it's not. But you tie so much of your identity into the way you present yourself, right?
Sure.
The way you feel in your skin. And I think it's difficult for all people to lose their hair. Obviously like men, it's been happening for years and years, but I think it's harder for women because it is less common, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and I've been to a couple of her. She has these fundraisers and galas where she has these women that will tell their stories, and whether it's their cancer journeys or they have alopecia or other, domestic violence that they've lost hair, she is helping these women feel beautiful again. And I'm just in tears whenever I go to these because you see these stories and you see how necessary it is. So that's the foundation. So she has her hair extension line, she has a salon, and then she started the foundation to help other women.
So should we hear how she built her hair pyre?
Hair pyre.
We got to work on it. It's not quite there yet. I'm working on
We'll get there,
I'll work
Lacy.
on the branding.
Yeah.
Sorry, Lacy.
Yes. Lacy, it's so good to chat with you. Thank you for joining me today.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Always love being with my Fresh Living fam.
Oh, we love when you are and if we get you for a podcast, this is amazing because we have a lot more time. You've been on the show multiple times, but okay, so could you just share a quick background of yourself and how the company got started?
All right. So I am a hairstylist by trade, and I now am the CEO of my extension brand. And that literally happened by accident. I would have never thought that I would run a company the size of mine now, which has been a really fun ride. But yeah, like I said, I'm a hairstylist and got my start in Las Vegas doing actresses and celebrities and doing their hair. And it was just like something that I really fell in love with. And I started doing hair in 2002. So that is... I started when I was like 4, of course, if you do the math.
Of course, right. Yes.
But if you go back to 2002, extensions were not a thing yet. And I always had really thin, fine hair myself. And I was always so jealous of my friends that could have like this beautiful long hair. Like when I was in hair school, flat irons weren't even out yet. Girls still used to like use an actual iron.
I remember
right?
that.
So,
yeah. Oh, yeah.
So,
yeah. Uh-huh.
But my hair was really, really like, I never even needed to use the iron because my hair was always so like not cute and long and beautiful. So I really fell in love with extensions. And the first time I got them, it changed my life. And I was like, I want to offer this for my clients. And to be honest, I had to really talk my manager. It was at the Bellagio Hotel. I had to talk her into letting us offer extensions.
Wow.
And from there, I just really, of course, fell in love with it and, got pretty good at doing extensions, especially since no one else really offered them. So people would come to me from literally like they would be visiting from Spain and would come back every 3 months to get their hair done. And they would be flying me around to Houston, to New York, to Los Angeles. So I kind of had this, I always say I'm kind of like a has-been because I did some really cool stuff in my early 20s. But so I was flying around doing extensions, and I one day woke up and I was like, man, it is so hard to have to wait to order hair in, because some of my clients were only going to be in town for a day. You know, they were here for a poker tournament or a movie premiere or whatever it was, here being Las Vegas. And so I really wanted to have hair on hand for myself. So I wanted to start my own brand. And that was kind of how this was born. So it took a couple years and to develop and find a good manufacturer, because I was very particular and of course didn't know what I was doing, and I also didn't have any money. So it took a long time to try and figure that out. But 13 years ago now, I was when I officially got like my first order of hair in and started offering it to my own clients. And from there, you know, created a website, and then Instagram was born, and people found me through Instagram, and Instagram is really how my business got its success, I will definitely say. So
Yeah.
that's kind of like the quick, version of multiple years of
Sure.
starting my company and starting my career. And of course, there's like headaches along the way. I was a mom of 2 kids, and then I got a divorce. And so, I mean, there's like all these things that were kind of looped in that made the business kind of hard, but also, you know, I still am around. So
She's
we're
still here.
and it's been like really awesome. So,
And the rest is history. Okay, what would you say laced hair extensions, like how would you set those apart from other hair extension companies?
so honestly, I think what does set us apart is just to go kind of back to my story. I created it, started it really 15 years ago when there wasn't any other hairstylist led brands around. So you could go buy hair from these huge businesses that we call them like the suits, meaning they're just businessmen. They don't really know a lot about hair except for the business behind it. And so for me, that was what I thought was lacking. I'm like, I want colors that hairstylists actually want. I want us to be hairstylists first. So I think like just that in itself is different. Something else that's different is the fact that we are just a small business led by, a female founder, and I also own it still 100%. So I don't have to go report to a board, and so I get to keep my customers happy on my own terms, which is something that's really cool. And a lot of companies can't say that same thing. So just that we're stylist led, and we also have a really incredible give back program that I know, you and I have talked about several times, and you've been to our events. So just I think the give back program also sets us apart, is that anytime someone buys from us, they can know that like they're also giving back to someone in need, a woman in need that wants hair extensions or a wig. So that's something that I think it's obviously very special to me, is our charity that we have as well.
Sure. Yeah. And we're going to get into that for sure, because I know that that's very important to you. Really quick, what do you think some of the common, like, are there any misconceptions or myths about hair extensions? What would be one, do you think?
Well, I think like anything, I think it's the same thing. And it's very, in the beauty world, I think a lot of times we get a bad rap, meaning that it's like, oh, it's vanity, she's getting her Botox, she's getting her eyelash extensions, she's getting her hair extensions. There's all these things that people say are fake or too much, or, and for me, I'm like, anything that's going to make you feel confident or beautiful, like go ahead and do it. Right. And sometimes maybe you can go overboard with Botox, like, but who's that person hurting? Like, who cares? Right. So I think that with extensions, it used to be like, no one wanted anyone to know that they had extensions.
Sure, yeah.
My station, if you've ever been to the Bellagio, there's the atrium in the middle. My station was one of those, you can still walk by it and see the window where my station was. I had to like go hide in a back room when I would do some of my clients' extensions, because they were like, oh my gosh, I don't want anyone to know I have hair extensions. It was like such a secret thing. So I will say it's come a long way, and people aren't as afraid to admit that they have extensions. It's all over the place. No one cares. So that would be one, is just the fact that like, oh, like the vanity or the fake but it's like a lot of women their hair will never grow long. And how fun that they have a way that they can get these beautiful extensions, like literally in an instant. Another misconception would be that, and this is like my stylist background talking as well, is that they're extremely damaging to your hair.
Oh yeah, you hear that a lot.
Yeah. And honestly, what is more damaging than extensions would be bleach, to be honest. So, and I love my bleach. I am not a natural blonde, but here we are. So but with extensions, a lot of, there can be if you go to a stylist that is not trained or doesn't know what they're doing, the extensions can be damaging, just like anything else. And so it's really important to go somewhere to get your extensions done where the staff knows what they're doing. And to plug my staff in, all they do all day long is extensions. So they're really trained and know what they're doing, and in multiple methods, so no one ruins their hair.
Sure, that's a good point, definitely go to somebody who's trained, that knows what they're doing. That actually leads into my next question. What are maybe a tip you can give someone who is thinking of getting extensions, and then also some good tips on how to take care of them?
Yeah, so I think the best thing to do is to schedule a consultation to a salon. Again, you can come into our salon. We do consultations, or there's no shortage of hair extension salons in Utah for sure. But I would suggest going to a consultation, because the stylist, again, is going to almost be like a doctor to diagnose which type of hair extensions you should get. So for you, I know you wear clip-ins. Hopefully that's okay that I'm telling the world that.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I'm proud of it. Honestly, I really am. I think we've come into a day and age where, we're proud of it because they're such good quality that, I'm proud to wear them.
No, I love it. But yeah, for you, if you were to come in and you wanted extensions that you wore every single day, like it took you coming in to know that you're like, actually, I want clip-ins that I can wear for a special event, or I can wear sometimes, but I don't want them in every day. Maybe you are a hot yoga instructor, or you do hot yoga twice a day, and then you also go swimming and you put your swim cap on. That client should probably have clip-ins as well, because she probably washes her hair so much, right? So it's best to just go talk to a stylist, talk about the different methods and the different options of extensions that work for you. Because for us, I never think that extensions are one size fits all, and we have 8 different methods. So it's hard to know all of them, and just be best to go talk to someone about what you're looking for, what look you want to achieve, and all the things, and they can recommend based on your needs. Sure. And then as far as taking care of them, again, that kind of depends on which method you end up getting. But I always tell my clients this: they're coming in, their extensions are not cheap by any means, especially our brand. We have really incredible high-end quality hair, so our prices are definitely higher. I'm sure there's brands that are lower quality that someone could go that's more affordable, but our hair it will last you longer. So in the long run, it's worth it to make that investment up front. But as far as maintaining it, I say all right, you've bought the Mercedes, which is now your hair, and you have to put the highest grade quality gas in it, right? If you put the lowest quality of gas, your check engine light's going to come on instantly. So it's kind of the same thing. You can't use Kirkland brand shampoo on your extensions anymore. And I love me some Costco, so I'm not dissing them at all. But you do need a higher end product to wear your hair and to help maintain it. And just, you do have to treat it a little bit more special, because it is an investment, and your extensions are, our hair is human hair, but once you have, cut the hair is now dead, and it still will last, but you still need to oil it every day and use a great deep conditioner, and, make sure you're maintaining it, with brushing it. And we also tell people to sleep with a satin pillowcase and put it in a really loose braid at night to help it from tingling. So I mean, those are like a couple of tips and tricks, but really just to be like, use really good products on it. That
Sure.
is the one thing that will make them last a really long time.
Yeah, those are really good tips because, of course, like you said, yeah, you bought the Mercedes, you got to take care of it now. So those tips are awesome. That's really good. One of the best parts about Laced Hair is your foundation. Can you tell us a little bit about that, and then the new program that you recently launched? I think it was this year or just last year.
Like our foundation event.
Yeah.
The actual, yeah. So, no, awesome. Well, I know, and this is something that the last couple of years that I've been on the show, we've really dove in and talked about my foundation in those 4 minutes that I get, which go by really quick. So I feel like we've gotten it, been able to talk a lot about it on the show. But what's cool about the foundation is it started from my own hair loss journey and my own health problems that I went through. So it makes it even more special for me. But I was diagnosed with a brain tumor in 2015, which ended up being a multiple sclerosis diagnosis, which, because of the lesions that grow in your brain, they often can be misdiagnosed or that's pretty normal. But of course, I didn't know that at the time. But because of where the tumor was in my brain, we couldn't perform a surgery that wasn't risky. Like, it was kind of in the back of my head, and all they could do was do a biopsy to see if it was cancerous, but they couldn't remove it. So if this brain tumor was cancerous, I had like a 10% survival rate. Like there's no way that I would have made it. So obviously I'm really scared. Hear this news.
Sure.
It's like right before Christmas. It was my first Christmas as a single mom. It was just like a really difficult time that I was going through. But because we chose not to do the brain surgery, they still wanted to treat me as if I did have a cancerous brain tumor, just to get ahead of it, obviously. So I started going in for treatments and really high doses of steroids and infusions and all these things to hopefully shrink the swelling that was happening in my brain. And during those treatments, you instantly start losing all your hair. And I ended up losing, within 3 months, like 70% of my hair.
Oh my goodness.
I had so little hair that I couldn't even like attach extensions to it because my hair wasn't strong enough. So, but I would go in and hang out at Huntsman's Cancer Institute and get my treatments. And if you've ever been in an infusion center, you see that there's like kind of curtains and, women and men lined up getting their infusions. So I'm sitting in one of those, and everyone that would walk by me, including the nurses, were like, how does your hair look like this? A lot of the women sitting next to me were going through cancer treatments or other autoimmune disease treatments, and I'm like, oh, like, no, trust me, I really don't have, I had a beanie on to cover like that. I was bald on top, and I just had a couple clip-ins in to make underneath my beanie to make my hair look more full.
Mm-hmm.
And so all of these women were like, oh my gosh, well, when my hair goes back, I want to get some extensions, but they're really expensive. So hopefully I can afford it. And from there, I'm like, oh my gosh, like I literally have access to the greatest hair in the world with my manufacturers, and I'm going to help these women. So that was where kind of the idea was going on. And then, fast forward a little bit, after a couple months or like 6 months, they were and more treatments and more, more MRIs. I couldn't think of that word for a second. I guess acronym. But after more of my treatments and just tests, they found out that I indeed had multiple sclerosis. So it wasn't a cancerous brain tumor, and I was going to live a little bit differently, but
Yeah.
It was, another chance. And so from there, I just started going through the motions of, all right, cool. How can I start this charity? And that same year I opened up my salon. We always had our online stuff, but now I had a salon as well. And so we had access to like let local people come in and get free clip-ins and all of that. So from there, we now have a website, and we are a registered nonprofit. So tax write-off for people that want to donate and all of the things.
And you help people with like even wigs too. Can you tell me quickly how that works? Because that's an amazing part of the foundation.
Yeah. So what's so cool is so many people would reach out to us and they're like, my mom's going through cancer treatments. Can she get extensions? And I'm like, honestly, if you're bald, you can't get extensions until your hair starts growing back, but call us. She's going to survive. This is going to be great. Like, call us. And then I don't know a lot about wigs, unfortunately. I do extensions, just not a lot of wigs. So, and wigs, even for me at my cost, are extremely expensive. So I just hadn't really looked into it. But after our first Hair for Hope Gala, which was, now we just had our second one, but the first one, that was our goal, was to raise enough money that we could start buying wigs and that we could start buying them in bulk so we could afford to help more women. So we now offer wigs. I think we're already on our 9th wig this year, which is really great. And, each wig is anywhere from $1,000 and up, depending on the length, the color, all the things. And then we also have like wig toppers, which is a smaller version of a wig for people that aren't bald, don't need a complete wig. It's just like a top that stays on. So we offer those as well, which has been really fun. I mean, I know you were at our event and heard some of those stories of some of our wig recipients. It's just like,
oh, I was in tears like 90% of the night. It's really incredible, everything that you are doing for women and even young girls. I remember the story of the young girl, and I wish we had time to tell those stories, but it really changes lives. And if someone, Lacy, is listening to this and thinking, I want to help my mom, or I want to help my sister, or, myself, even I could use some help, what's the best way to go about it? How do we go about it?
So just nominate yourself. Of course, I think a lot of people are always afraid to take care of themselves, but please nominate yourself. Yes. Nominate your sister, your mom, your own client, whatever it is. We have a website. It's lacedhairfoundation.org. And then there's also links just from lacedhair.com. We also have a foundation Instagram with a ton of backstory and a ton of, fun little reels of the events. And so they can see more, some of the transformations, some of the things that we do.
Oh, you're awesome. Thank you so much for all you're doing, Lace, and chatting with us and just helping people feel beautiful, because that's priceless and so important. Thank you so much, Lace.
Oh, you're so welcome. It's so great.
And I'm going to continue real quick with our Fresh 5. Are you ready? These are 5 quick questions just off the top of your head to get to know Lacy a little bit better. Are you ready?
I'm ready. Should I be nervous?
No, they're easy.
Right.
They're fun. Okay.
I'm just kidding.
Okay, beach or mountains?
Oh, man. This is rough. Well, I would say beach because we're building a house in Park City in the mountains. So I feel like I'm going to have to say beach now because I'll get both.
Your vacation. There you go. Okay, you're on an airplane. Are you in the window seat or the aisle seat?
Window.
All the way. Okay, love it. What was the last movie that made you cry?
Oh, man. So I currently have like a toddler and I don't get to watch movies that often. But have you ever watched Bluey? I cry at Bluey.
Yeah,
like
Bluey's,
several episodes with my daughter.
Absolutely. Bluey's definitely a tearjerker. Yeah, you're in the mom mode. Okay, and then what's your favorite holiday?
I love Christmas. It's the best. It's my favorite holiday.
It's so magical. I love it too. Okay, and last one. What are you most excited for this year?
So like I said, the build of our house, we're building a house and moving from, Salt Lake County to Park City. So on a personal note, I'm excited about that. And then also we're launching a new product line. Speaking of taking care of your hair. So we'll have a hair serum for your ends to keep your extensions and your hair. You don't need to have extensions in, but a whole product line just to take care of your hair. And we'll obviously have to talk about that another time, but that is launching hopefully in November. So that is something that I'm definitely looking forward to as well.
So exciting. Definitely check those products out because they're going to be the best. All right, Lace, one more time, where can we follow you for more?
Yeah, so if you care to follow me personally, it's a little boring, but that is me at Lacy Gadegaard. But our website is lacedhair.com and our Instagram handle is lacedhair extensions.
Okay, perfect. It's been so fun chatting with you. Thanks for spending some time with us, Lace.
Oh my gosh, you're the best. It's been so fun.
So fun. And thank you for listening to another episode of Fresh Off the Set. Please rate, review, and subscribe, and we will see you next week. Congrats, you made it to the end. If you want to continue to freshen up your day, you can watch us on Fresh Living every weekday on CBS Channel 2 in Utah at 1 o'clock. You can also watch us on our YouTube channel, KUTV Fresh Living, and follow us on social media. We will see you next week.